Okay, so today we're going to be cracking on with the rest of the wiring. And as you saw in my last video, I got the other side of the trailer done. So today we're going to get this side done, finish off the wiring, and then I can put the wheel back on this side, and flip it back over, get the sides on, and then make a start on the bed, which is going to be the plan for hopefully this weekend if I can get this wiring done tonight. I've got a couple of hours left after work, time that I can sort of get this done. But I have yet again lost the remote for my camera, which is a pain in the ass, but you know how it is. I put that thing down and it just vanishes. So what I'm going to be using, my trusty wire strippers, my black crimps and butt connectors. So in one of the other videos I did, I think it was the antenna video, I mentioned about the ratcheting crimps that I've got and the teeth not working properly. I did eventually actually find some on eBay, crimp for teeth that you just switch in and out. So hopefully they'll show up and I can give them a go. But at the moment I'm still waiting on them to show up, so I'm just going to crack on with these as they are and hopefully get this all sorted. All I'm doing, I'm just cutting the ends off because these have been outside and they start to weather a little bit because they haven't been connected or anything like that. So just going to strip the ends off enough to put them into a butt connector, just like so. Right, on this one, on my lights, the positive cable is the colour of the light. So the front one is white, the side ones are yellow, and the rear one is red. The thing to remember, I'm using a black and white wire because that's something I had lying around, so that's what I'm planning to use. I'm going to carry on with the black as the ground on this because the black is the same all the way through and that just makes it easier until I get to the other end, because the ground cable for a trailer wiring harness is white. So that's just something that needs to be remembered when we get to the end. So to start with, putting this first crimp on, just like so, and then I get my other cable, bring it apart. That feels like it's going to start raining now. I keep feeling stuff on my hands. Twist them up. Just like so, and that is the first one of 8, and then all I'm going to do is just add a little bit of extra waterproofing because these are going to be under the trailer, so they'll get all the spray off the roads and everything. I've got some black electrical tape. Okay, I will make a suggestion about electrical tape. When you buy it, don't buy like the cheapo Poundland stuff that you get like 5 meters on a roll and you get 6 of them in all different vibrant colours which seem amazing and you can colour code stuff and whatever. That is pretty much all it's good for, it's just colour coding. It's a very sort of a rigid tape, whereas like the electrical PVC tape is going to sort of stretch around bits and hold on tight. The cheap stuff, it just doesn't adhere to stuff very well, and I'm not a fan, I'm not going to lie. I've used it over there for colour coding and I can already see that some of it started to peel off in places. It's just such a poor quality, If you're going to get some, get like a big old roll from a hardware store. I think I got this one from B&Q. It was like a couple quid for the roll, so you can't go wrong really. Okay, so that's all taped up. Now I've just got to do the same to the white side. There we go, that is the first one hooked up. Now, just repeat the process. Okay, so now the fun and games begins. I've finished up outside and managed to get all of the side markers working nice and as they should be. Now I've got to try and figure out these lights. Now, to make it easier for the viewers, you guys, I'm going to put it this way. This side of the light bulb, this is the indicator, and this side is a twin bulb that does the brakes and the side lights at the same time. Okay, so I've got to try and work out what does what. Now I'm going to go ahead and assume that this black one is the ground, but then I've got these two green ones. One is a solid green, the other one's got like a violet stripe going through the middle of it, and the other one is a red power cable. So what I'm hoping is that the red is the brake light, because that's what the red means on current wiring harnesses for trailers, and then the one with the violet is also going to the same side, so I'm hoping that that's the side marker, and then this one will be the indicator. So if I just pop that over that for now, just so we don't blind ourselves, and then by touching that, that is the indicator. Means Okay, that's quite dull. That's quite bright. So if I turn this off, I can turn this back one off as well. That's very bright. That's not so bright. So I think that's that one figured out. So our red one is our side light, which is weird. Our violet one is then the brake. Green is the indicator. Black. Okay, so I got the trailer all finished with the wiring side of stuff. Unfortunately, I didn't have the correct colour cables for everything. So what I've done is I've just sort of, don't know if you can see that. No, it doesn't seem to be shown. Basically that's written on there what colour it's supposed to be. Black cable with the blue tape on is supposed to be a blue cable. The only thing I still need to do, I've got the wheel back on and everything, but I still need to tidy these cables up and tie them into the frame somehow. I haven't quite decided how I'm going to do that yet. But that will be something to be thinking about, because I really need to sort them out before I can flip it over and start doing the rest of it. With these bits here, what I've decided I'm going to do is I'm just going to get here and just cut it here with a reciprocating saw, cut the nubs off, and then that just eliminates the problem where the square tube is coming away from itself. I don't think that one is, but I know the other ones are. Like this one over here, you can see the square tube's clearly been blown out. So by cutting it off, I'm eliminating that problem, and then I'm going to drill a hole and have the feet, which are down here somewhere, on pins instead of having them as a screw in, because with the screw it's just applying pressure and it's just a pressure hold, and the pressure from there is pushing the back of the pipe out. So by drilling a hole in the side and putting a retaining pin in, the metal itself is taking the weight rather than the screw with the pressure fit behind the back of the square tube. So that's my plan. Okay, so I'm just about to use one of my power tools outside, and my lead from the power tool isn't quite long enough to reach where I want it to get. But I don't want to crack the massive one out, because that's just a pain in the bum. So I thought I'll grab my little one, only to find my little one hasn't got a plug on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to switch a plug over from this piece of lead that was cut off something, probably a washing machine. Back of the plug says Tesco on it, so there's that. And I'm just going to swap the wires over. Okay, there's nothing technical about it. It is literally just blue to blue, brown to brown, green to green. Okay, so see, I know what I'm doing here, so I haven't got a problem switching plugs over. That's nothing difficult. I can find the right screwdriver. Okay, so unscrew all the little ones in there and then just pop the wires out like so, and then pull this through the bottom. Okay, so what we're then going to do is twist these up a bit so they're not so frayed and messy. And feed it through there like so, just like the old one was. Okay, and then what we're going to do, we're going to leave this slacked off to start with,
Okay. And then I'll show you a trick that I like to do is I pop the pins out. You can't always do this, sometimes the pins are stuck in, but on this particular plug you can pull the pin, the terminal out. Okay, and the one that I've just pulled out is blue. So what we're going to do, I'm going to put the blue wire on there, and I'm going to tighten it down in my hand here. Like so. Let's come out a little bit. And tighten it down. Okay, and the reason we've left this tight so it slides up and down is so that we can then push that back in the right orientation. Because if we tightened this down, we'd be stuck with it here. And we probably would have been alright with this particular plug, but sometimes you don't always have enough room to do it. So we're going to pull this out next. I'm going to change the fuse as well because I want a 13 amp fuse and this has only got a 10. So I'm going to swap that out quickly into my electrical box where I keep my spare fuses. And now we have one. One 13 amp fuse. Okay, and the fuse one always goes to the brown because brown is our live colour. So that's the one that we want the fuse on. So I'm going to tighten that down, put that back in place, and stick our 13 amp fuse back in there. And last but not least, the earth cable. Okay, slide that in, tighten her up, just like so. And that is a new plug on our extension lead. Now you've got to make sure that the cables tuck into all the slots that are there, because if you've got it on this little ridge bit here, it's not going to sit properly when you put the lid back on. So you want to just make sure that they tuck into all the grooves, which it is. And then we are going to tighten up the clamp at the bottom that holds the cable in place. Just like so. Okay, that's held in there nice and tight. Got our new fuse in. Perfect. Now all we need to do, pop the lid back on, tighten it up, just like that. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull this sticker off because this sticker says 10 amp fuse fitted. And we don't want that because we put a 13 in. So that sticker can just come straight off, just like so. And Bob's your uncle. We have an extension lead ready to go. Oh, throwing stuff everywhere. What I am going to do though, looking in here, I don't know if you can see it, I might be able to bring you in a bit closer, is this terminal got that green colour to it, so it's a little bit corroded. So I just want to take this face off and just see how it's looking inside. And just check that everything is alright, because obviously it looks slightly corroded. So we'll see. Take this off. Okay, so it's a moulded to the rear. Okay. Well, looking inside, it doesn't look too bad. Now obviously, if you're doing this, please, please, please make sure this isn't plugged in. If you start sticking a screwdriver into a live plug, you're going to have some problems. Okay. Obviously, I know this isn't live because I've got the plug in my hand here. But if you're going to start playing with electrics, make sure that it's isolated or it's turned off. Okay. So that doesn't look too bad from looking inside it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to screw that back on, and I will plug my tool in, and we will see how it runs. Actually, I want this the other way up, because then when it's not in use, I can plug it into itself. Actually, no, because that's the bit that spins. Silly me. So it doesn't matter, because that's going to change orientation anyway. Because this spins. That's me being silly. Okay, so here's the test. Plug it into our power source. Plug our power tool in. And moment of truth. Works a charm. Okay, well, it's been a busy day today. I haven't done much recording, unfortunately, but I have got the sides on the trailer. Got the problem with the bolts all sorted. Got a bolt on every side. What I did, it was this one I think, was on the inside where the nut was sitting, I'd only welded it on one side, so I got a punch and a hefty hammer, and I just absolutely kept clouting it, and eventually it broke off. So I put a new one in there. So I've got bolts in all four corners. Put new bolts in the bottoms. Got the frame bolted on nicely. Everything nice and tidied away. And I've got the first leg kind of sorted. I did the thing where I drilled the holes in it and I put a retaining pin through. So I've just got one more hole to make in that one, so it's higher up, so if I wanted to have it just sitting on the stands and not on the wheels at all,
I can. But I need to use a drill press, I think, to do those. So I do know someone with a drill press, so I'll probably be using that. Get the other wheels, the other legs done, and then that's those sorted. So next step is to just sort out the bed and get the steel bed done, and then I've just got to mount the lights at the back, because there's no lights on it, and some reflectors. But since we last spoke, I have purchased a fog light for this as well, so that will sit nicely under one of the lights. So I've also been having a bit of a clear out today. I cleared up the deck and got the deck chairs out because it's nice and sunny, and then got some bags of rubbish from stuff I've swept off the deck. Just having a little fire. So yeah, so I've got that all sorted. All my panels aren't in the garden anymore, so my garden's nice and clear. If I come over here and I point it the other way, I'll show you. One clear garden. That's partly why I've been waiting this long to clear the deck up, because I wanted to have this fire and needed something bigger than the little chimney, and I didn't want to have that on the deck, so I've been needing the space to be able to put it. So that's partly why it took so long to do that. So yeah, that's where we're at. Hopefully we'll be cracking on with this fairly soon.